Hey everyone, how you doing? My friends, I love you guys. I've got a really good show for you today, and 3 is the number. I have 3 sections for you, 3 segments. First, I'm going to talk about flashlights. Now, if you're in a home or if you're in your rig, like I live full-time in my minivan, I need a flashlight. And I might need to go outside and use a flashlight, or I might have my fairy lights on and I've got low level lights, my red lights, things like that. But when I need to get in my drawers, especially in the morning, I need to zone in, like I need a particular shirt or picking up my underwear or whatever. I need to zone in and I need my flashlight handy. Now, not all flashlights are equal, but I will tell you that this company, Thrunite, is superior in customer service and in quality. So I'm going to talk about that first. Number 2, I'm going to discuss finding water in a city area or a little bit out of a city if there's a disaster, an EMP, things like that. This is a survival section. I normally don't do survival, but this is so important. We need water to survive. And if the electricity, if the grid goes down, it's going to stop the pumping of water. And I'm going to list 10, 12 areas to find water that you may not have thought of. And number 3 segment is going to be, I know you love those Walmart hauls. So I've got a little jazzy, quick Walmart shopping experience for you, and that'll be fun too. I try to make these videos fun for you. Now, if you would do me a favor, everybody, and just hit the subscribe button, and if you want to, ring the bell for notifications and never miss one, and then give me a thumbs up. I know you're gonna like it, or you can wait till the end to give me the thumbs up and see if you like it, and leave a comment too. All of those little actions and behaviors on your part really help keep good quality videos coming from me, because it helps support me in a very small way. So I really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you a thing. So let's get going with the show, shall we? Yeah. This is a flashlight from Thrunite. They want me to review their new flashlight. It's a T2 rechargeable light. Let's see. Let's unbox this. They already have this attached to it. It's a 2-way clip. Like, you can clip it this way or you can clip it this way. Or with this, you could put it on something. Let's see what else is in here. Thrunite customer service card. Here's your customer service card. Now it says a gift card, a free flashlight. How to get a free flashlight. Wow. Now, this is a T2. Okay. User manual. And I'll refer to this, yes. Because I'm not going to pretend that I memorized all this. I didn't. I'm not a flashlight geek. But I want to tell you about Thrunite, what a great company it is. Hey, Vincy. And to let you know the qualities of this. They make quality material. Are they the brightest flashlights and the best flashlights out there? For the price, they're pretty darn good. And how many of us, or how many of you, are flashlight geeks? I'm going to guess that not a lot. Here's what you need. You need a flashlight when you're home. Now, you can always turn on a light, sure. If you're in your bedroom and you're sleeping and it's at night, sure. But what if you hear something out there? You want to have a flashlight handy, ready to go. Easy to use, easy to understand. That you can turn this on and you can kind of go through your house. Now, if you hold this on, what you do, you can see the light barely. It's called the fire light, the Firefly. It's a very low level light. You just hold and press and hold it. And that they have this feature on every flashlight that I have reviewed thus far. It's very low level, but you can see really well in it, but not a lot of people can see you. So if you're in a home, you need a flashlight that you can just grab and go and see what's going on. Or you might just want to, you heard something in your bedroom. It could sound like a little mouse or something. You want this flashlight. You want to see what's going on. You don't want this big flashlight, big light. You turn on a light and it's going to blind you. You can just grab a flashlight and kind of look around. Now, that's if you live in a house. So we all need flashlights, but nomads need them too. They might hear something outside. They want to go outside of their rig and see what's going on. Or, let me turn this off. Or, let's say that they are going to go to the campfire. And everybody's gathered around the campfire. But not everybody can park around the campfire. And if you're in a large group, you might be parked a little ways off. You need a flashlight so you don't trip and fall. You know what I use these flashlights for, and I mentioned it in the intro, is that in the morning I don't want a lot of bright lights in my minivan. And I'm waking up, I have already folded up my bed and rolled up my sleeping bag, and I'm going to get dressed now. Sometimes I need a flashlight to look inside my drawers or my bins. I'm looking for something to get dressed. We all want these flashlights. This flashlight feels so good in my hand. It's not as small as that real small one, but that I have reviewed, and that'll be on my next video. We have another very small flashlight. I love Thrunite. I'm just going to tell you, I do. These guys are great. I'm sure there's gals there too. It's a great company. They're Johnny on the spot. When I say, well, you need to send it to me now because I'm moving out of the area, it's like right there. And they communicate very quickly. What does that tell me? They're going to be great customer service. So we all know we need flashlights. Now, do we need these great big mag lights? Well, I suppose if you want to bonk somebody over the head with it, it's a great weapon. But they're heavy and they use batteries, huge D batteries. Has anybody tried to buy D batteries lately? They're uber expensive. All of Thrunite flashlights, they are USB chargeable. Let me get this off. Yes, it's just a little tab. You pull it out and look at that. Let me show you. Yes. And this one is a power delivery. It's a super power. It's power delivery. And it charges up quicker than the regular USB. Yeah. And then just close that up. There we go. Push that in. Good to go. Okay. What else is in the box? Well, this looks like a lanyard. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So, let's move this over to the side. There we go. Yes, this goes through here. And they always send an extra little closure. It's a rubber closure for the USB. And then we have 2 rings in case you need those. Those fail. Oh, here's another rubber. They send you 2 rubbers. And then, yes. Now, I know we have a lot of these. You already have a lot of these. We're getting so many of them, but not this one. You're going to start needing more of these. This is a larger connector. It's for power delivery. It powers it quickly. Yes. Put this here. And well, of course, we got these. What do I do with these, especially if they're big? What I do is I kind of like throw it in this area of my van so that it's silica can absorb. I don't throw these away. I put it somewhere so it could help continue absorbing moisture. You know, moisture in our rigs. But look at this. Yeah. Okay. You can hook it here, and you can hook it on your belt. Let's see. There we go. Cool, huh? Just hook it right there. Yeah. Okay. So, let's talk about the specs of this thing. What do we have? Specifications. It's in Chinese. Chinese. Oh, it looks like it's in German. Maybe that might be Korean. Okay. So, specifications. What do we have here? The Firefly is only 0.3 lumens, but that's good because you want a very low level light there are going to be times when that's called for. You don't want to blind yourself or somebody else. You just want to see a little bit. The strobe is 1400 lumens. Low is 30 lumens. Medium, 356 lumens. Don't go anywhere. Turbo is 3,757 lumens. Wow. And high is 1712. Okay, now the distance for medium, the distance is 156 meters max. If it's blue when you're charging it, if it's blue, that means it's already charged. Very nice. Okay, let's just show. It's pretty easy to use. Now, if you want to have the SOS, that's the blinking. To turn it on, you press it hard. That blinded me. That blinded me. You press it. Just continue pressing and it goes down to medium or low, high, and turbo. There you go. Ooh, yeah. Now to press it off, you double click to off. Now if you want to just turn it on to Firefly, I like this. You just hold and press it. It's on, it's Firefly. You can't see it, but it's very low and I love that feature. Now, to turn it on, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, there we go. There we go. Okay, so it's a flashlight and it's got the double way clip on it, so you can clip it this way or this way. See what kind of battery. Okay, it's got a 5,000 mAh lithium ion battery. I like it. I think you will too. There we go. Let's get this back on. Let's get this baby back on. There we go. I want this to be moved around to that side. There we go. There we go. It's off. So I like to have this right in the front, and then I like to make my clip in the back where the USB goes. So, there you go. The T2. Now, talking about the T2, I also want to talk about the TS2 lantern. I did a review on this, I believe last month, But it has a lot to do with this also. Let's look. I love this lantern. Oh my gosh. It's got a magnet you can put on the side of your vehicle, in your vehicle. If you could, I can't find much metal in my vehicle because I'm in a minivan and it has like material insulation, but a lot of you have metal inside. Well, anyways, this is a wonderful lantern. Turn it on. Turn it on. Turn it on. Hold it. Right? Brighter. Back down again. So, and it's so easy to use, but it came with this wonderful connector. 3 different sizes of connectors, because we're going to start needing these for our power delivery connectors. They're larger. And then look at this at the end. This can be for USB, for in your computer or your power bank, but look at this. It opens up. Power delivery. Power delivery. So, watch this. Take it out of the holder. Just pull this aside. This is a 500 or 5,000 mAh. And what I can do is, let me put the power delivery in. Power delivery. If this needs to be charged up, open up my little tab here. See which one is the bigger one, the power delivery. There we go. It says it's being used here. Now I don't see a light here going on. It said that it would be blue, but I do see something here. Let me make sure. Is this power delivery? Yeah. I believe it's not on because I believe this is already charged up, but look at this. Yeah. Isn't that great? It's perfect. These can work together to power each other up. Oh, I think what's happening is this is charging this one. All right. Yeah. So, this lantern came with this so you could hang it, yeah, somewhere in your van. So, this is, let me put this together. Oops. This is so easy. It just slides in there, and then it fits in here. Turn it off. Just one little click and it turns it off. It's easy. TS2. T2. T for 2. There we go. Shut in. Thrunite. It's a great company. I want to talk about survival. And I want to talk about water. A water situation that could become critical. As nomads, we're in unfamiliar territory a lot of the time, if not most of the time. We don't know the community that we're visiting. We don't know where the water sources are. We're just on unfamiliar territory. Now, if you're in a home, you know where you are and you know where water sources are in most cases. Some of you don't have a clue. So I want to address that. If there is a disaster that goes down in this nation and we're out traveling, or if you're in a home, I'm going to reveal 12 different sources of water that you may not have thought of. I'm going to suggest that if you are a nomad, that you become aware, wherever you are, become aware of what you're doing and where water sources, after I give you this list of where these things might be. As a nomad, we don't have the space to be storing a whole bunch of water. I usually carry no more than 7 gallons of water at a time. And sometimes I need to get to the store to either refill or buy new gallons of water. I usually get them at Walmart or grocery store. Or if I'm out boondocking, there's usually places around towns where I can refill I don't throw them away, and I save my gallons of water and I refill them. So, but 7 gallons of water is not going to last a long time. Now, if you live in a home, you're going to have a little bit more, but let's face it, you're not going to have all that much water either. Another problem as a nomad is wherever you are, you're not really a part of the community. So you're going to be on the outs. I don't know how many of you actually read or listened to the audiobook 1 second after. I suggest that you go get that book and you read it. It is excellent on the possibilities of what could happen during an EMP. And that is so... it could actually happen. It could happen. The nuclear bombs of yesterday, where they blow up, other nations are not going to do that to us, because then, it's going to affect the whole world. But if they throw off a low-level nuclear bomb way up in the sky, it will, and do it in different areas of our nation, it will literally stop, all electronics will stop working, and the grid will go down, and it'll throw us into the dark ages, actually. So the book, 1 second after, is a wonderful book to read on the possibilities of that. So let's discover 12 areas to find water that you may not have thought of. Number 1 are going to be your pipes. If you're in a home, there's going to be water left in your pipes. Now, if the grid goes down, the electricity will be off, and it's not going to be pumping water into, when you turn on the faucets and pumping more water. But there is a gravity effect. There's going to still be water in your pipes. And if you have warning that something is going to go down, right away, if you're in a home, start filling up your bathtub and all your sinks and any containers that you can. That's going to be a given. If you believe that the water is totally contaminated with a toxic substance, what you need to do is go around and shut off all the valves so that the outside water cannot come in, and it will save the water that is currently stored in your pipes that you haven't used yet. So you want to do that. There's going to be a lot of gallons in your pipes already. Number 2, canned foods. There's water in those canned foods. Now, it can be kind of salty. If you can add a little bit, if you have water and add a little bit to it, it will help with dehydration. Because if you get too much salt in your system from the salty water in the canned foods, it can wreak havoc with the balance of salt in your body. Now, if it's canned fruits, wow, that's going to give you energy. It's going to give you a good boost of carbohydrates in your body, which you're going to need in a situation like this. You're going to need your energy. But canned foods, do not throw out that water. Now, if you're a nomad, yeah, I do carry canned foods, and I like to have that water. What you can do is start buying canned foods that are salt-free. Now, let's say you have pickle juice, or you have like pickled beets or something like that. That's going to have a lot of brine in it. Now, you must water that down, but it will help your electrolytes, and just save it. And if you have water, add it to it and get it down into your body. Number 3, your water heater if you're in a home. A water heater. Now, if you're a nomad and you're in a city situation, an urban setting, and you know that a home has been abandoned, hey, I would go check out that water heater for sure. Check out their water heaters inside. But if you're in a home, what you need to do first is shut off the gas valve. Put it to off. Wait a while for the water to cool down. Now, there's going to be a valve that you need to open. That valve, you need to do it very slowly and carefully. There'll be a way that the water will come out of down below. There'll be an opening, and you get your bucket ready, and you can retrieve that water from your water heater. We're talking possibly 70 gallons of water. Number 4, your toilets. Now, water that's in your toilet tank is drinkable as is. It really is, because that's coming from the water source and through, the water, the gravity of the water source coming into your home. So yeah, you can dip that out. If you're unsure, go ahead and treat that water or boil it. Now, the actual in the toilet itself, do not just drink that water. It could have E. coli in it. But if you really do need it and you don't have pets around, because your pets can drink that and it's not going to hurt them. But if you don't have pets and you really want that water, you need to treat it, boil it, whatever, to get that drinkable. Number 5, irrigation systems. Most homes have them now, don't they? Well, not all, but a lot of them do, especially in nicer neighborhoods. There are irrigation tubes just below the surface of the dirt around their whole home. Now, on average, every irrigation system is going to be holding 2 gallons of water. That's every home that has irrigation. There's 2 gallons in there. Now, how are you going to access that? Well, what you need to do is kind of dig around one of the irrigation sprinkler systems. Just dig a hole around that. You need to screw off the top of it, but you also need to have vinyl tubing. Now, I actually do have that in my survival kit. If you have a bug out bag, you need to be carrying a tube, a vinyl clear tube, so that, for the irrigation system, you can draw out things in the irrigation system, or I have mine for gasoline that I can open up somebody's tank and I can draw that gasoline out of their vehicle. So what you do is you stick the tube in there. Now, you need to be able to pump it out. I have an actual tube that has a pump at the end. But if you don't have that, another thing you need to do is possibly buy now a Katahdin water filter, and it's got the pump on it, and you can hook it to that and you can pump the water out of it. You can get 2 gallons out of that. Now, you do want to treat that water, because there could be like Roundup in there or things like that kind of soaked in from the lawn. But it's a good idea just to treat it. Just treat that water, either using, I will talk about that in the end, ways that you can treat your water to drink it. Also, another thing to get, and I don't have, which I'm going to get, is a sponge. I have buckets, but I don't have a sponge. Sometimes water can leak out, and if you're thirsty, you do not want to let any water go. So if you have a sponge, you can be sponging around it and then squeezing it into your bucket. But there is a good source of water, and when you need water, you need water. Water is essential to life. You can only go 3 days, and that's really stretching it without water. Number 6. Transpiration of plants. What you do is you can get a big plastic bag, and a lot of us do. It'd be good to have a clear plastic bag. I carry large Glad bags. I get the jumbo, like I can put things in it and store things in it, like clothes or, my scarves, things like that. And what you do is you wrap it around like a branch, so that the leaves are in it, and then you close it off like a rubber band or something, or tie a string around it, and you wait. You can do that around a tree or a plant. Make sure it's not a toxic plant. Yes, but in my area, you could go with mesquite trees or things like that, or bushes, and close it off and wait. Do it during the day. What will happen is it will draw water into the leaves from the roots of the plant. What you can do is you can collect that water either early morning or late night, but you will have some drinking water. Not a lot, but if you have a bunch of them going on, yes, you can collect the water and you'll get something to drink. Number 7, using a tarp to collect water and rainwater. What I've seen is they just kind of lay the tarp down, and they kind of have like a round. Now you can actually hang it and collect water that way. Hang it from there, lay it flat, but you have each corner on the grommets, and hang it up. But you can also just lay, if you don't want to get too fancy with it, you can just lay it down. It'll be a little wrinkled, and it's going to collect, you can collect up to 2 gallons of water from that tarp. Now, you also do not want to forget about your gutters if you live in a home, or if you're in an urban setting and you see a home that's been abandoned. A lot of people are going to abandon their homes during this time. You can kind of hunker down and you can start collecting water from their gutters. You can set up a tarp system. Yeah. Number 8, fire hydrants. Now that's a little iffy because everybody's going to be going for the fire hydrants, and you might be having to deal with marauders that have already taken over a fire hydrant. And it's very iffy getting water out of those fire hydrants. They're under great pressure. But there is a way if you want to. I'm not going to explain it here, but look online and look at ways to get into there. You have to loosen a couple things up on one side, and then there's a valve, and you're going to need a very large wrench for this. And you're going to need to open it. If you open it very slowly, you won't get hurt with it. But a fire hydrant. Number 9, commercial buildings. There are these valves in every commercial building on the outside. And I've shown this before. It's a Silcox key. And there's different sizes. It's a 4-way. And I bought this on Amazon for $12. I keep this in my glove compartment at all times, just because you never know. But you can open up the valves on the outside of the building. There's going to be water in that are still in a building. It's gonna, and you probably a lot, because their piping is in a commercial building. The piping is so long, and there's so many. They have toilets in there, and yeah. So yeah, commercial buildings. But you need one of these to access the valve, to open it up. Number 10, ponds, pools, and fountains. Yes, there's going to be a lot of pools around, and those houses might be abandoned. Don't abandon them. They're probably going to have to protect them, because a lot of people know that they probably have a pool. A lot of people can go on Google and they can get a view of their neighborhood, and they know exactly where the pools are if they're smart enough to do it. Now, if we're in as nomads and we're just new to the area, you're going to have to go searching for those ponds, pools, and fountains. Make sure you treat that water. There's going to be all kinds of amoeba in the water. And you do not want to get, this is not the time to get a bug inside of your digestive system, because it's going to make you so sick. You need to treat the water. Now, if it's totally contaminated water, or it's got things floating on the top like oil or some kind of a chemical, it's undrinkable. You can't filter that water. So just so you know that if you believe it to be contaminated, it will probably make you so sick or kill you. This is going to be an iffy one as we're moving just a little bit through the city. It will be old springs and wells. In every city, they say there's these old wells that just haven't been used. Now, as nomads, are we going to know where they are? Probably not. But if you live in a home, you can do your research on that, and you can utilize those. 12 are going to be lakes and rivers. And that's going to be outside the city. But you know what? A lot of people are already going to be utilizing that. But in case you haven't, when you're upset and you're in stress and it's chaos, you're going to forget a lot of things. So let's not forget the obvious, the lakes and the rivers. Now, I've watched movies, I've watched survival programs on this. And that's one of the areas that the marauders will have formed a group, and they will be protecting that and not letting anybody else near that. So sometimes that can be an option, sometimes not. If you want to utilize lakes and the rivers, what you need to do is have some sort of a cart, because if it's an EMP, your cars are not going to work unless it's like pre-1950 car, before all the electronics in them. But you're going to need a cart, and you're going to need lots of buckets, and you're going to need help, and you need to get as much as you can before the bad guys come, and they will control. That'll be their way that they can control other people is they will control that water source, because water is going to be the most important thing to everybody, isn't it? I hope that this helped you all and it made you think a little bit. Our goal is, and my goal is to help you realize to have a water strategy in case something goes down. So there you go.
Shoplifters, they just walked out the door.
Okay.
Crazy.
Somebody just grabbed, did he have something big?
It looked like a cooler or something.
I want to thank you all for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed every single segment. And it will make you think, especially with the water. You need to think about these things, especially as nomads. We're in unfamiliar areas often, and if we can just take a moment when we go into an area to look around and start thinking, well, where would I find this? Where would I find that if I am here for the long haul in case something goes down in the nation or in the world? So yeah, I do appreciate your support. I love all you guys. And so many of you have become really lifelong friends for me. Now, and of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up. And I just appreciate that you watched it all the way through. Please give me a comment and give me suggestions on what you want to see and what you want to hear about and who you want to see. I know Paul has been an addition to my videos, and so many of you have expressed that he's a great addition. Let's give him some ideas of what he can do for the videos and subjects that he can talk about. And then, of course, we've got this Nomad Life with Lee and Paul, and that comes out on Friday on Spotify and Apple and Downcast and Google Podcasts. Any podcast app that you major ones that you can download will be there. And we've got some great subjects that we talk about. So without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you all. I love you guys. Bye.